The second technology that I picked out is Canvas by Instructure. The website is here at the bottom as to how you access it. Why I chose this resource is because once you have it all set up, it saves a lot of time. It's really easy to use. It's mobile friendly, and I feel like it enhances the students' learning because it adds extra features to the class and they're taking online tests instead of paper tests. Its purpose is for online assessments, which give you instant feedback. So once a kid finishes their test, they can instantly see what they got wrong and what they got right, as well as their score, as long as you don't have any short answer questions. It allows for file sharing. You can upload files onto it. You can add your syllabus. So there's a lot of functions that I don't currently use but could add to it. There's also email communication, and you can have class discussions on it. The intended audience would be students and teachers. The standards that apply: ISTES 6A, Understand and Use Technology Systems, and ISTET 3A, Demonstrate Fluency in Technology Systems and the Transfer of Current Knowledge to New Technologies in Situations. So when you go to the Canvas website, it's canvas.instructure.com/login. My username's already saved, but you would type in your username and password, click login, and you'll see my home page here. So I already have 2 classes that I utilize this in. That's why I have 23 assignment notifications. But if you were new to this program, in order to start a new course, you would hit Start New Course. You'd have to name your course. So I'll just use business for sake of time. Keep it private. And then if you want students to be able to utilize it, so you want to share the program with them and have them take tests on it, you want to make it publicly visible, and then click Create. And now you will get a setup checklist. So if you're new to it, you can use your setup checklist, and it'll take you through all the things that you can add into the course. And you can click on them and it'll walk you through steps to do that. Over here to the side, you have discussions, grades, people, pages, files, syllabus, outcomes, quizzes, modules, conferences, collaboration, and settings. So you see some of them are grayed out. That's just the setting that is set up currently. You will want to publish your page because see how it says only teachers can see this course until it's published. So now the course is published, and this is how my main screen always looks. So the main thing that I currently use the program for is for quizzes. It's grayed out over here on the side, but if I was to add a test, I could click quizzes, and then the little plus sign is what allows you to add a quiz. So you would click add quiz, and then this is where you enter all your information. So you could name it, go through all your settings. So if you have any specific instructions, whether it's going to be graded or practice, or if it's a survey, I always leave mine in assignments. You can opt to shuffle answers. So if kids are sitting next to each other and taking a quiz, the A, B, C, and D options, or A and B, could be shuffled. Could allow a time limit if you want them to have more than one attempt. You can let them see their answers correct or right after they take their test. I always do mine to show one question at a time, so when the students take the quiz, just one question appears, and once they've answered, they can click on to the next one. You can say who it's for. Is it just for my business class, or is it for my other classes? A due date and when it's going to be available. If you scroll back up to the top, this is where you would add your questions. So you can see you can add a new question group, or if you have prior tests in here, you can find questions. Over on the right-hand side, you can add in files. So if you have things saved in your files right here, this is where you could add them in or upload a new assignment. So if you click new question, Up at the top, do you want it to be true, false, fill in the blank, multiple choice? You have tons of options. You would type your question in, all your possible answers. So if you only want 2 answers, you can use the little trash can over here to delete the ones that you're not going to use. Update your question. And obviously I didn't type anything in, so it's not gonna give us a whole lot there. And then you can go ahead and add a new question. So for the sake of time, I have classes set up. So if I go back up to the top, I have a 5th and 6th hour and a business communications that I currently use my classes with. Here's my unnamed quiz that just appeared. There's not a ton of info since I haven't used it. So I'm going to show you one that's in my 5th hour class. Sorry, it's super slow. My 5th hour, I currently use the people option to add my students and the quizzes, and I don't use anything else right now, so that's why I have it grayed out and these are in order up here, because that's what I use the most. However, there are tons of other options. So if I go to my quizzes, so I have my test for the semester in here. If I click on chapter 1, this is where you can see how many points are worth in your test. So I could have entered all my questions and chose a point each. I did always set it to shuffle their answers. I don't give my kids a time limit. They cannot have multiple attempts. They can view their responses. And I do 1 question at a time, like I said. So I could click to take the quiz if I wanted to take it right now. Or you can preview it. So this timer's on here. That's kind of obnoxious, but so this is what it would look like on my kid's screen. Let me do that one more time for you. So you can actually see what it looks like to the kids. So that's what they see. They would click their answer and then click next. If I want to edit my test, I click the edit button at the top. I can change the name of the test. I can change my settings. And I can edit my questions, and you see it'll give me that message. I already have students that have taken the test or quiz, so to be careful editing it. But this is one that's already set up. So if I click my questions, I have them in groups, and you can see here all their questions. If I wanted to move it to a different group, I could do that here. And that just goes through and shows you all the questions that I've typed in that are for this actual test. So I'm not going to change any of that. I'll go back to my quizzes. Once you have your test created, they're grayed out here. And when your kids are ready to take it, you click the little cloud, and that's what publishes it and makes it available for them to access it. So now that we've went over quiz, we can go over people. If you click people on the side, this is where you would add your people in. I just clicked group so it doesn't obviously show all my students' information. Let me go to the one I created here. So you go to people in your new course, and here it shows me that I'm the business teacher, and this is where you add people. So you do have to enter it just like it says. Example student, which would be, you can do it as if you want to list their last name, comma, first name, or if you want their first name, last name. So if I did like John Smith, I would put it in quotes. And then their email address has to go in this option. So john.smith@gmail.com. And then you just keep adding students. So then I would add my next student. The way I did it is I filled out my students in an Excel spreadsheet, and then I just saved them in a group. Their role would be student, section is business, and then I would hit next. So it says I validated and I'm ready to add 1 user. So I can click add users. The following have been enrolled, so I'm going to click done. And now it shows that John Smith is pending. So with him pending, he will not appear until he receives the email that I just sent him and has signed up for the actual course. So that's how you add your people. You can go back to your quizzes. And I have that one unnamed quiz. I can hit publish. So now when John logs in, he's able to select that quiz and go ahead and take it one question at a time. So like I said, there's tons of other things you can look through, but for the sake of time, I'll just go over the ones that I have used so far. And I hope you find this useful. It's super easy to grade and very user-friendly. Thank you.